Alright, hello. First of all, thank you everybody for commenting on this video. We have reached 102 participants, I believe, right? Yes, 102 participants have already participated in this Riven mode giveaway, so I'm very excited for this. There is a pretty good chance for everyone, and I will be very happy when April 4th comes around and we actually pick the winners. Now, before this happens, though, I have to say something about this video and all the people who commented. I was pleasantly surprised to see that there were so many people, around 30% to 40% of people, had one gun and one gun mentioned. And that is. Where is it? The Stahlta. So, if I just scroll through this comment section, there are a lot of people talking about non-meta stuff, but there are so many people talking about the Stahlta. Like, there is a lot of people. So, now that I see it, I can, I can really tell that we need to make a dedicated video on the gun. I mean, I know I'm taking the piss here for making another Stahlta video, but listen, there is still many questions of people asking me, oh, I don't deal as much damage as you, what is your build, what do you do to deal more damage, all of that. So let's explain that, because people seem to need help. So, I have two Stahltas right here, and I differentiate them because one is named with many A's and the other one isn't. So, what is the one with the many A's and what is the difference necessarily? Well, one is for playing with Wisp generally, and the other one is for playing with, any other character. So, right here, let's get one thing out of the way. This obviously doesn't have any kind of fire rate, so the normal fire rate of the secondary fire is very slow at 0.5. That fixes by just playing Wisp and using your buff, and then the idea behind this is because this gun has multiplicative CO on both primary and secondary fire. If the enemy has any kind of status procs, you multiply your damage per status proc on that enemy by 80%. And this on a secondary fire with this much crit multiplier and this much crit chance, with this much damage, it deals a lot. It will deal heavy damage. So that is where all your damage is coming from, and that is where everything happens. Now, you can deal pretty hefty damage. You can deal 2 million damage easily without any kind of, any kind of damage buffing ability, any kind of buffing ability. You can still do 2 million damage pretty reliably. No status procs, no damage buffing, no armor strip, nothing. But then the funny thing happens where we can add all these mods, we can add the damage buffing ability, we can add the full armor strip, we can add buffs, and we can reach ridiculously high damage numbers. So on the build here is mainly focused on the secondary fire and the one I use as a daily driver, because normally I just press secondary fire at a bunch of enemies and just not care, move on to the next bunch of enemies and just continue doing that because I know the enemies are gonna die. And that is because this has way too much damage on its own. The Riven itself is this. It is a perfect roll. I literally cannot get a more perfect roll than this one. Even, I don't know, maybe if it was minus impact instead of minus puncture. But this is about as good as it gets. Because I have Toxin. So this mod replaces Infected Clip, because a lot of people were asking, what do you replace on your Stahlta Riven? I replace Infected Clip. Because if I remove this Riven, you're gonna see that I have cold only. So the viral must come from another source. So this Riven mod, because it has Toxin, it combines with cold, gives me viral, and adds crit chance, crit damage, while reducing something that doesn't really matter a lot. So it's perfect. Literally perfect. So what happens then on the Stahlta itself is you just build for damage. Serration and Galvanized Aptitude can be combined together for multiplicative CO if you want max damage. But then you can do some other stuff to get a bit more damage without the abuse of that, and I will get to that in a bit. So this is the normal daily driver build. this is what I'm gonna show, what I usually do. We'll just run a normal capture mission. And what I mean daily driver is like, it's the mission that you're gonna play to just not carry, I guess. Like yeah, we do this in carry mission, right? I want to use the Stahlta, I'm gonna use this build because it's the easiest one to get going, it's the easiest one to stack, it's the easiest one to do stuff. I forgot to change the scene. So, just Madurai, add your buffs, add the clips because, you know, clips funny before the nerfs. And then you just secondary fire and 1.3 mil. Without even hitting it. The AoE itself did 1.3 mil. And you just play. This pretty much one-shots anything that will be base still path, and it can go a long way, so you never has issues with killing people. Can do that. 4.5 mil to 3 mil on that guy. But yes, this is generally just a daily driver build. I want to play a mission for the hell of playing the mission. I'm gonna build this and play this. This is also perfect for dealing with acolytes. It one-shots any acolyte on base steel path up to level 500 almost. And yeah. Really simple setup. Really fun to play. Satisfying sound. Very effective. No issues whatsoever with dueling enemies. Even if you're low MR, you can get something like this going on pretty early, as I have a Smurf account that can do this pretty reliably even on Steel Path, and no issues whatsoever. The account, if you're curious, is MR10, and it doesn't have galvanized modes even. And even without galvanized modes, you're still able to do this. Where galvanized aptitude on this gun is absolutely broken, and you know, will multiply your damage by a lot. But it's not needed. So you got that going on. So that's your daily driver build. This is the build that you're mainly gonna use for any kind of mission. Now we're gonna go to a bit more damage focused builds to see what we can do. Now I know a lot of people have seen a video where I have a really funny damage cap setup going on. So it's the same exact build for that, but instead of primary merciless, we add dead hit for the headshot multiplier. And the way that this was achieved was with Ivara, which, funnily enough, I have the same invigoration that I did the last time that I tried this right here. So we can see this in action. This is very fun to do. Plus 200% primary critical chance. You can see directly on the weapon that you want to use how it will look like, and incarnon weapons especially look really funny. 495.4% crit chance Latron is pretty nuts. But I also think 255.3% crit chance Stahlta is pretty nuts, so this is the idea. Evara is perfect for Eclipse since it can keep the Eclipse buff running forever. And the idea with this was... where was the build? I think it was just this, but instead of Streamline or something, I added Vigorous Swap to get the damage buff from Vigorous Swap, and swapped Corrosive Projection for Host Ramp. So this was the idea. Now here you go Cyan, and then you go with do I use or gain energize? Yes, not if I want to do this. So where's primary charger? There it is. Okay, so I came primary charger, molt augmented for the stacks, and then this build, pretty good. The Siam itself is just a heavy attack force build. I do have a even condition overload because the thing is multiplicative if you want to go that way, which I normally do, but here it's not needed. It's just a heavy attack build generally. So yeah, your primer doesn't really matter, but I like to use the funny. Where's the funny? Last time I used the Nepitaph, so this time I'm gonna use a compressor because it's funny. And we're gonna see what that looks like. So we can easily reach pretty high damage before we even stack. once you stack, you can get incredible damage like the one I did on that video, where it hits twice the amount of damage cap with this weapon.
These foes deserve your respect.
The outset could have been better, but it's
With
decent.
deaths, and I with your victory.
Life support has been cut off.
So you put your arrow,
Hold
you
on.
do this, you get on top, Eclipse is maxed out, and now if we just headshot this guy, we instantly see 100 million damage with nothing. 167 million. That was without Vigorous Weapon, we got 121 million. So you can see this is without any kind of multiplicative CO. So if we go even further with this one, we can now add the Siam attack. So now we proc primary charger. We go again. I missed. Amazing. Oh, I also lost Eclipse, so it wouldn't matter anyway. But yes, Arcane primary charger boosting damage by 300%, so we can stack that. 225 million. And this is, remember, this is before we add any kind of stacks or even any kind of multiplicative CO from our compressor stacks. So we're gonna show exactly how you can do this. I'm gonna just stack Molt Augmented a bit with my Siam because it's super easy and very fun. 80 million on that guy. Siam itself, very strong weapon with Ivara, one of the best because you can stay on the arrow and move around and the blade will travel forward, punch through enemies. Generally a really strong setup with this. There are better stuff to play with it, but Ivara is nice because you can easily get control of this and just not care. So 211 stacks. We're trying to get 250 Molt Augmented so we can get the attack going. $10 million on that guy. And we're at 250. Now you're at 250, you just start the arrow again. Obviously. Flips. And we get the Stahlta stuff again. Oops. He moved, no way. Oh, I knew it. It's fine, I have Madurai, I can just revive. Beautiful Madurai. Okay. How many stacks are we of Deadheads? Wait, I have the build with... I don't have the Deadhill build. This is how strong it is. I'm not even on Deadhill. Anyways, that kind of makes my work easier. So it's fine. So, now that we are stacked, we're just gonna do this. Just stay stacked until we get an actual enemy. I need that guy. I need him. Kinda him. I need him, but Corpus version of him. Okay, so we can show how it can one-shot Acolyte too. I'm not gonna stack it at all, I'm just gonna shoot him. I'm not sure what Misery did to me. But that was cool. Okay, anyways, can I get a Corpus Eximus enemy, please? Thank you. Ask and you shall receive. So, kill them, ignore him. Activate the Eclipse. Prime him again, for the sake of it. and 882 million. I got stuck with an 8, but I think I ran out of the buff from primary charger. Yeah, see, that's why I don't do it on a normal corpus enemy. Compressor is just too strong. They just die in 2 hits. $701 million. So this is like without even headshotting, without having the buff for deadhead. I instead have freaking merciless, so way worse. But yes, it is quite strong. You can easily see a damage cap with this if you come with the correct setup, because you can add your arcane primary charger. You can then prime the enemy, add Eclipse, add Holter Ramp and Vigorous Swap, and then you can even add the Madrai buff on top of all that, and Eclipse, and they all stack together. Your damage will go absolutely nuts. I swear, if somebody tries this with Ivara, they will damage cap. But this is obviously also good to take into something like Disruption Mission. So let's say you want to play a Disruption Mission with Wisp. What are you gonna do? We're gonna go take our Wisp, put the favorite skin on. Don't worry, video will come soon about how you can do this. And then on this build, you just replace Ogre Secrets because you don't care about having that much strength with Vigorous Swap. And then you just prime enemy and then shoot the guy. And you can do level cap very easily. You don't even need it to armor strip them, but if you armor strip them, it becomes easier as well. Gonna just show this on a normal demo on Steelpath. And then I'm gonna show a build that is outside of Wisp and easy to level cap with without any kind of damage buff, and we are done. So we go to Olympus. This is all tested, by the way. It is a weapon that I've played thoroughly. So I have gone to level cap with it multiple times on multiple builds, and both the primary and secondary fire are level cap viable. The primary fire itself has a lot of slash procs on its own, so you don't need much. It is pretty crazy. So, oh, thank God I'm not playing an actual mission. I hate the style set. This is the worst one, I swear to God. Alright. Also for the primary fire, as I said before, it is pretty strong. It has a lot of slash procs on its own, so your viral build with automatic slash procs will go nuts. So, we find the demo. Actually, I won't add the clips, it doesn't matter in this low level. Okay, he's there. So, find him, prime him, shoot him. I don't think I need to demonstrate further what you need to do. I mean, it dealt 1.7 million without any kind of Eclipse buff. 1.7 million one-shots level 2000 Demolist, so... yeah. I think we are fine with this. So, that is with the normal Stahlta build, without any kind of deadhead either, so... you can imagine if you want deadhead, or even you could do something like primary frostbite if you don't care about killing enemies on high level. Not that you can't, you can with this weapon, but you could go frostbite, then take whatever primer you want. I would prefer Epitaph because it has a guaranteed cold proc, and just proc frostbite from your primer and then shoot them with the actual gun, and that works too. That is very good. That is a very good way to try out disruption missions if you don't care about stacking with your normal primary weapon and you have like a melee setup like a Glaive Prime or something like that to stack onto the enemies, which is completely viable. Now, last but not least, we're gonna take Limbo. Not that we're gonna show any builds here, just for the memes. And this is, as you see, two builds that are called Level Cap Wisp and Level Cap Chroma. So the Level Cap Wisp what it is if you don't want any kind of damage buff, if you just want bare bones, this is kind of what you use, and this works without a Riven mod, even. It doesn't need a Riven. So this is a general build that has your usual combination, a primed Bane mod, and then internal bleeding. Why is internal bleeding so good on this weapon? It has a guaranteed impact proc, and the secondary fire has a very, very slow fire rate, regardless of how you build it and how much buff you can get. It is almost impossible to get a 2.5x fire rate on this weapon. So no matter how much fire rate you get on Wisp, or whatever you play, you will not have any issues whatsoever with killing enemies. So this is the build without Riven. My Riven, is the same one as before and goes here. Vigilante Fervor, pretty good. And same thing for Chroma, but Chroma replaces your critical delay with Point Strike, and then we remove Serration because Chroma doesn't need it. And then if you wanted something for anybody else, now we're gonna make a build on the fly. Go normal chamber, Bane of Grenier, Serration, Aptitude, then internal bleeding. Then where is it? Fervor. Actually, no Fervor. My bad on that one, Chief. Point Strike, Vital Sense. Where is Vital Sense? Boom. And Val Acceleration. Amazing. So this is our build. Right here. Simple, yet super effective. We add Deadhead. And this, as you see, doesn't have the craziest stats of all time. But you have to understand that bleed procs from this weapon only scale with the base damage of the weapon. And since the weapon has very high base damage and can deal radiation on its own, it can do really well without any type of help. On Chroma's case, we have the Riven, so we have way higher crit stats, but we're gonna show that even with a build like this weapon will easily one-shot any kind of demo. So we go with our Limbo, play him a bit with a build because, never lucky. Legit never lucky. I'm not even afraid to show it anymore. I hadn't shown it. I hadn't seen if I had Limbo or not because I'm like, okay, it's 4 AM. I'm not gonna play Limbo right now. I'm just gonna make the video and go to sleep and let it upload. But even if I did check it just in case, I'm sure that I wouldn't get it because I know the game doesn't like me or something. So little stuff about Limbo on circuits. We can see that with Subsume Eclipse, perfect for him because his only real issues are Eximus enemies and Silence disables Eximus enemies. That's kind of the gist of it. I'll get into more detail whenever I do get him, which will happen probably tomorrow after this video. I forgot to mention that. After this video goes out and goes public, I will be streaming on Twitch and trying to get the Limbo so I can get a level cap circuit for Limbo. So now that that's out of the way. Remember, no elemental damage modded. Excellent wave. You can see how much damage the primary fire is also doing without any kind of mod whatsoever. This is why this weapon is the best. Both firing modes are insanely OP. Look. You see that? And this is a bleed build, mind you. This has no base damage. This has bleed. And it kills base steel path disruption enemies with one shot before you even bleed them. This is how strong it is. Also, as you see, these Eximus enemies, he's in, but it doesn't matter. That's some bleed damage there for you. think the other, yeah, he's there. Is he? No. Let's see. $1 million. Bleed proc. Yeah, I mean... It is just that good. This is the only annoying part about Limbo. I cannot pick this up. That is what I don't like about Limbo. No matter if I'm on operator or not, I just don't pick it up. He's just bad on disruption missions generally. I just picked him because of the memes.
Hear that beeping? Demo unit's on its way.
Okay, the guy is from this side. I wonder if he ignores the bubble or not, to be honest. Yeah, he does. But he still takes damage, so... I guess Limbo is not that bad on disruption missions, because you can ignore the area completely and just focus on the target. Not the worst thing in the world.
That thing blows and you can kiss the conduit goodbye.
Okay.
Care to live up to your reputation?
So yeah, that is the build for, you know, level capping within, even without a ribbon. So who was the YouTuber? There was one YouTuber recently that said, you know, this gun is only good with a ribbon or something in the comment section. I cannot really explain this because I will need to check it. Okay, I don't have this gun on me. So where is it? Oh, Shiro is streaming. Yeah, I should go there. Anyways, I have to check it. I sent this to a viewer. I really need to find out. If I don't find this out, I'm gonna regret it for sure, because this is such content for the video. Okay. Okay, Blackie. Yes, I remember. So MH Blackie. His list for the must-have primary weapons or whatever it was Fenmore, Amprex, Ignis Wraith, Kuva Chakur, Burston Prime, Axeltra, Fulmin, Torid, 10x Flex Rifle, Latron, Gatva, Bolter Prime, Tramna, Nagantaka Prime, Bratton Prime. So there is no Stahlta, right? And there were a lot of people in the comments that were mentioning Stahlta, which I was like really proud, because I'm sure before the primary weapons video I would see almost nobody talk about it. But he replies to one of the people, haha, that's funny actually. In my notes, I had the final chapter I called S tier with the Riven, for guns that are more niche but yet super strong with the Riven. The Stahlta was on this list, but since the vid was 25 minutes already, I chose to cut it. I think this easily proves that a gun with no elemental mods built into it and just internal bleeding setup, one-shotting before the actual bleed proc, is a bit OP. That is my opinion. I don't know what to tell you. I think a gun that can one-shot the base steel path enemy demolist before the bleed proc actually comes into effect from your bleed focused build is an overpowered gun. So yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know. And if you wanted to make a build like this but with the Riven mods, you would probably replace this. That is what I would replace, at least. But that's just me. You may believe that something else might be the better solution, but looking at this, I am barely at 100% crit chance with this, which is still fine. Don't lose much. I don't want to replace Serration, because Serration is the thing that gives me damage for internal bleeding, plus it scales with Galvanized Aptitude since it's multiplicative, and Bane of Grenier. So, I don't know. I wouldn't really change anything else. Just point strike. in my opinion. Except your even has fire, then you can replace Val acceleration, which is a better idea in my opinion. I think it would be the best solution. But at last, these are all the builds. So now you know how to play Stahlta on any kind of mission. So daily driver build, any kind of disruption or heavy focus build, and any kind of anything like that. And oh yeah, also fun facts. I don't know if it's nighttime on the plains of Idle. I need to check that because besides everything else, if you're a newbie at doing Idle huntings, the Stahlta can it is nighttime. Amazing. So we can show what it does to a limb now. So if you're a newbie at idle hunting, you don't know how to do idles and stuff, you want to get arcanes, I don't know what, you can use the Stahlta pretty reliably on idle hunts. You may call me crazy, but that is not the case. It is actually really good. What is this fog? It looks like daytime. Ah, god, my eyes. What the hell? I'm not gonna take a lure. I'm not gonna do the whole hunt. I'm just gonna show you what it does, so. He spawns on this side. Perfect. What's up, bro? Unstacked. No changes in the build to make it more optimal for idlons, like adding radiation damage or anything like that. It's just the strongest primary in the game for me. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how people didn't notice this sooner, but I guess it's because people don't try out guns. But yes, quite good. I hope you guys liked the showcase here, because I did showcase a lot of things about the gun, and you can probably find a build for any kind of scenario, and like I did, which is why I built two Stahltas, because they have a bit of difference in formas, so I can fit more builds on this than on this one, the other one, because one of them likes to use the Bane of Grenier mode, and the other one likes to use the Hammer Shot mode to play a more normal daily driver playstyle without the need to change the build. And that is about it. I think this probably will help a lot of people to either get into the gun or perfect their build on the gun, because I know a lot of people, I at least now know a lot of people have followed me and have tested this gun and they really liked it, which warms my heart. Welcome to the gang. So, that is about it. Remember, after this video drops, I will be live streaming on Twitch, because I will be trying to get Limbo, to get that circuit video out, because for fuck's sake, I've been trying for a week and I haven't got Limbo in a week. So tomorrow we are grinding to get Limbo. We're just gonna leave at wave 1 until we get it. So Discord, Twitch links below in the description. Giveaway on the top of the description below if you want to enter. There will be a video and there will be directions inside the video itself, so no need to explain anything. And I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.